Hi, this is Ms. Lee, and this is our fourth lesson for Indices and Surds. So for today's lesson, we are going to talk about what is surds. Okay. Now, a surd is a square root which cannot be evaluated without estimation. Okay. So what we mean is that, this sentence, what it means is that it is irrational. Okay. So some examples are square root 13, square root 2, square root 3, square root 7. Okay, so if you were to work it out, square root 13, will give us the answer 3.6055551 and so on. Okay, so this is an irrational number. Okay, now how about square root 25? Is it a surd? Now the answer is no, because square root 25 can be simplified to just 5, which is rational. So it is, even though it has a square root, it is not a surd. Now, before we look at some surd questions, now let us look at some rules for simplifying surds. Okay, now you have square root a times square root a. Okay, the outcome will be a, right? Okay, but this is based on Newton's law. Okay, you can rewrite it as square root a squared, which is just a power of square, which is just a. Okay, now you have square root a times square root b. Okay, basically I can rewrite it as square root a times b. Okay, if I have square root a in both terms, such as n square root a plus minus n square root a, I can factorize out square root a and then rewrite it as square root a times n plus minus n. Let's say if I have square root a over square root b, I can rewrite it as square root a over b. Okay, now the next section, we are going to learn how to simplify surds. Now, what do we mean by simplifying? It's basically, the main idea is to look out for the largest square factor in the number. So I'm going to demonstrate what I mean. Square root 32, I can rewrite 32 as 2 times 16. Okay, I choose 16 because it is the largest square factor in the number. So if I were to write it as square root 2 times 16, I can split up square root 2, square root 16 as such. And square root 16 can be rewritten as 4. And then I have the square root 2. Okay, so this is considered as simplified. Okay, this is considered as simplified because in this surd 2, I can no longer find a largest square factor to break it up anymore. Okay, so that's it. Now, how can you also check whether you are right? Okay, so basically, a way to check your answer is, to calculate or use the calculator, to evaluate what is the question. So in this case, square root 32, square root 32 on my calculator is 5.65685 and so on. Okay, so to check whether my answer is correct, I can also calculate, check using the calculator. And I'm going to press for square root 2 on my calculator. And if this is correct, it will also give me 5.65685 and so on. So this is how we can check our answer. Now let's move on to the next question and see whether you have understood how to simplify a surd. So basically for square root 99, 99's largest square factor would be 9. Okay, so if I were to split it up, square root 9 can be written as 3, and then you have a square root 11. Okay, please check that square root 11. Okay, you can no longer break it up and get its largest square factor anymore. Okay, so that's it. The answer will be 3 square root 11. So of course you can always check using your calculator by calculating square root 99 and 3 square root 11. Okay, let's look at the next question. Square root 1600, okay, over square root 20. Okay, now based on indices law, I can rewrite this as 1600 divided by 20. And so, okay, I will be able to get square root 80. But 80 is not simplified. Okay, so the largest square factor for 80, okay, you will need to have more practice, okay, to be able to see faster, okay, what is the largest square factor of that number. So 80, you can see that it is 16 times 5. So I can rewrite it as square root 16, square root 5. And so square root 16 is 4, and the square root 5 is the answer. Okay. Now let's look at the next section on combining sets. Okay. Now for combining sets, again we can use the indices law, okay, which is just to combine the root inside 32 times 27 together. Okay, but you'll notice that if I use this method, I'm going to get a very big number that is in the surd. This is in the square root. Okay, and now this is not advisable because if the number is so big, you're going to have a hard time trying to find its largest square factor. Okay, so instead of doing this method, okay, I'm going to teach you a more convenient way, okay, which is basically to keep things small. Keep your numbers small. So this is a trick here. Okay. Now, so what do I mean? Now, don't combine. And each surd, simplify first. So what do I mean? Square root 32. Okay. Just now we have already did it in part A. Okay. It can be written as 4 square root 2. Okay. And 27 can be rewritten as square root 9 times 3. So I can rewrite it as times 3 square root 2, 3 square root 3. Okay. So see, now the numbers are small. Okay. So the next thing I can do is I can multiply them. Okay. This is actually 4 times 3 times square root 2 times square root 3 if I were to rearrange the terms. So I can now get 12 square root 6. Okay, and check that 6, you can no longer find a largest square factor for 6. So that's it. Okay, this is the answer. So you can always check with the calculator by pressing the question and pressing the answer. If they are the same, then congratulations, you're right. Okay. Now let's look at the next question again. Square root 20 times square root 45. So please do not just multiply 20 times 45 because you're going to get a big number. Okay, so the advice is to, and you never know, okay, that maybe In this case, 20 times 45 is actually a nice number to be square root. Okay, 20 times 45 is actually a nice number to be square root. 20 times 45, actually you will get square root 900. So the answer square root 900 actually is just 2. Okay, but then the thing is, you never know. Okay, when like part A, that the answer is not exact. So in this case, because it's exact, okay, so we can multiply. This is the fastest way. But if it's not exact and if you're not sure, it's still good to keep your surds small all the time for convenience. Okay. Now, the next question: square root 12 times square root 48. I can rewrite this as square root 3 times 4. Okay, 4 is the largest factor. And for 48, 16 is the largest factor. Okay, so I can break it up into 2 square root 3 times 4 square root 3. And now what happens is that I can have, if I want to skip the rearranging, I can just multiply 2 times 4 is 8. Square root 3 times square root 3 is times 3. Okay, so the answer is 24. Okay. Now let's look at the next question. Now if I have a divide, okay, if I have a divide here, so what should I do? Again, I can choose to keep things small. Okay, so I have a square root 12 here that I can still simplify. So I'm going to simplify this into 4 times 3 divided by square root 27 can be simplified to 9 times 3. Okay. So I can rewrite a little bit. Okay, so what happens is that, okay, I can rewrite the top to be 4 square root 3 times 2 square root 3 divided by 3 square root 3. Okay, so basically I can cancel a square root 3. Okay, and then I will be left with 8 over 3 square root 3. Okay, you can write it in this way, or you can write it as 8 square root 3 over 3. Okay, they are the same. Okay, they are the same. Okay, now for the last question, okay, same thing. I'm going to try to break up, but 21, can I break it up into any simplified? Can I simplify the surd? Okay, looks like I cannot. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it as square root 21 first. For square root 27, okay, so this one we are familiar. Square root 3 square root 3. And then 3, 4, 3. Okay, 3, 4, 3 can be simplified to 7 times 49. Okay, so I will have 2 square root 21 times 3 square root 3 divided by 7 square root 7. Then in this case, I will get 6 square root 21 square root 3 divided by 7 square root 7. Now, is this the end, or is there something more that I can do? Basically, do you notice that square root 21, we didn't do much to it because at the start, we probably couldn't see what to do. But right now, there is a square root 7 at the bottom, and square root 21 is made up of square root 3 and square root 7. Okay? So if I were to split up square root 21, I can see that there is square root 7 to be cancelled away, and so I'll be left with 6 times 3, because square root 3 times square root 3 is 3.